So guys, this is the video that has been trending on the social media. Mom and Senator Natasha walked out of a committee meeting as she was denied the opportunity to speak. Senator Natasha is the only one who has been calling out the Senate to pass the mandatory transmission of results. She cited reason that the Tinubu's government has budgeted 1.01 trillion naira for INEC, that INEC has enough money to bring Elon Musk's internet, Starlink, to Nigeria in areas where we think there is no enough internet for the election, that Starlink can serve the entire Nigeria. And the budget for INEC is too much that they don't even know what to do with the money. Can you imagine? 1.01 trillion naira is what Tinubu budgeted for INEC. Now, see how this person captured it. Senator Natasha Okpoti insists that real-time electronic transmission of results is possible. She argued INEC to partner with Starlink and reminded the Senate that INEC's budget is 1.01 trillion naira. She emphasized that limitations are not an excuse for manual intervention. So guys, this lady is saying that if we are saying no network, that Starlink, Elon Musk gives internet to people who are in the remotest of the remotest, you know. So this lady is saying that with Starlinks today, nobody can say, I want to do this and I can't achieve it. And INEC has enough money to be able to pay for it. And this election is a one-day election. Let's say 2 days. Let's even say 1 week. Elon Musk can provide us with that internet we are looking for. And now, because of her position, INEC has, the Senate is now treating her unfairly. During a committee meeting, she was denied the privilege to speak, because they are scared she's going to raise the Elon Musk idea again for the public and, you know, the media people to capture. They were scared. So this man here decided to hit the gavel. Now, let me just allow you to take a look at the video, what actually transpired during this session. This is to tell you that the APC is all out to rig the 2027 election. And that's why the Senate went ahead to pass the bill on electronic transmission of results. But they said in case there is no internet, that they will do it manual. So you are going to see that in all the places, the APC people will come out to say there was no internet. Now, Elon Musk is going to fix that problem, and that should be where we should be basing our argument. Now, let me allow you to take a look at this video for yourself.
So, my country people, yesterday, the Senate president of the most useless, unproductive, and dangerous Senate in the history of Parliament, with his gang of electoral and political bandits, decided to pass a fraudulent bill where go only aid and sustain election rigging and malpractice in Nigeria, because you do not want the will of the people to prevail. Shame on you, all 109 senators, for standing by and watching this brazen assault on Nigeria's democracy. 2027, the will of the people will prevail. Let us be very clear on this, because I don't want to talk plenty, just to give you a few updates. Akpabio is not acting alone, because everything that the Senate president is doing are careful scripts from the presidency given to the Senate to act it out. All this silence when I know they hear Tinubu voice talk about electoral reform or anything is not because he's neutral. They know that it will be a game changer and it will be the beginning of the end. That is why we're not supposed to ask Tinubu, as the master strategist, you get more than 30 governors standing on the mandate which they shall collapse. You have the entire National Assembly, entire judiciary. Only INEC never officially declared to stand upon the mandate. You have all law enforcement, the entire military. Yet you are afraid of just one clause: mandatory real-time transmission or electronic transmission of results. Why are you running? Why would not they fear free and fair election? You are making bold reforms, bold steps. You make bold reform finish, you can't fear free and fair election. Ori Buruku Lenshe Nigerian leaders. That is why when I don't even reduce the days for campaign for the Electoral Act, because the president will not even plan to make a campaign for the 36 states. When I want to do a to crown a president, to crown an incompetent person for Nigerians even without an election. But you will fail and fail woefully. Nigerians, all of us must be very clear-eyed on what is going on. INEC and National Assembly cannot tell us that there should be electronic transmission of results, but where there is no network, they can use manual. Ori Buruku Lenshe, there must be network. Akpabio, network there sufficiently. If there is no network, INEC should go and sign a deal right now with Starlink. According to 2026 budget for INEC, we now approve more than 1.01 trillion for INEC. They said part of that money is to use for electronic technology. What are they using the electronic technology for? From where are they getting it? Every polling unit for Nigeria, every local government get POS. Kidnappers, they make calls from evil forests, but Nigerian government don't know where to get network from. From that money where they give INEC, they should go and sign a deal with Starlink across the 176,000 plus polling units where they Nigeria to ensure that there is maximum coverage. Everything where INEC they do, they use technology, but the only thing where when I say network no good day is for transmission of result. Voter registration that they use technology. Beavers accreditation that they use technology, but to transmit result when I say no technology. Ori buruku lenshe, oshi lenshe. Nigerians, this message is for all of us. One thing where this electoral reform rally and protest don't prove, and all of the agitation be say, we can improve transparency in our electoral process through amending that bill and making it right with the right clauses. We must increase the pressure. As these so-called harmonization committees, they meet, Nigerians, we must not go and sleep. This is the time for everybody. The mother of all protests now the thing will happen nationwide. Because waiting Akpabio want to do is for them to rig and steal an election without the mandate of the people. It will not work. Whether you are civil society, labor, opposition, coalition, all of them, I don't know where when they coalesce, they go. All of them, where they run, Obi, Atiku, Amechi, everybody must come together. Religious leaders, they know they hear our voice now. You will keep quiet. You allow criminals to rig themselves into power. Then you come and tell us to pray for them. Because some of our traditional and religious leaders, it's like the Oribuluku politicians they do. When they share in that Oshito, they do them. Nigerians, it is not a time to be silent. Our lives depend on our elections and our votes counting. As they do so, we must mobilize. The mandate of the people must prevail. Between now and any time when National Assembly they come back, Nigerians wake up and mobilize. Increase the pressure. Make we know they fear people. We're supposed to they fear us. Because the power of the people must be greater than the criminals in power. Akpabio, there is network. Akpabio, there is network. Anybody will send you, those people where they play drum for you from Asu Rock, for you to the dance to run for National Assembly, to convert the Senate into an APC town hall. Shame go catch all of una, and Nigeria will be free. And Nigeria will be great in our lifetime. Me, this country, I no die here, I live here. It must work in my lifetime. My name is Peter for Nigerians. Nigerians, mobilize. Come out and insist that your vote should count. They want to steal your election. They want to steal your mandate. Do not allow criminals to continue to manage you. Let leaders take care of this country. We have no business with this kind of organized criminality we call government. Shame on you, Nigerian National Assembly.
I mean, to begin with, we must understand that as it is today in Nigeria, the APC-led federal government has decided to wage war on democracy and by extension, the lives of Nigerians by hitting the heart of what should keep us as a society. Mandatory electronic transmission of result is what the National Assembly has rejected. And Nigeria, as it is today, we must realize that the APC-led federal government has decided to wage a war against democracy and by extension, the lives of all of us as Nigerians. Because an unpopular government who know that they cannot win an election when it comes to free, fair, and credible polls, know that the only option they have today is electoral malpractice, a corrupt INEC, and a corrupt judiciary. But there is history to read. I said in 2023 that Nigeria made a mistake in 2015. Buhari was a mistake that should never have been made. Tinubu is the consequence of that mistake. And Nigeria, the likely instance or scenario is likened to the body of a sick individual in almost a dying state that should have been handed over to professional medical personnel to treat, was rather handed over to organ harvesters who have no interest in fixing that body, but are harvesting the remaining vital organs for personal gains. Nigeria today is almost completely in the hands of criminal elements, and from top to bottom, what we call government is organized criminality. So for more than 2 years after the 2023 charade that was conducted by Mahmoud Yakubu, where he collected more than 300 billion, and claimed that electronic technology will be the game changer, but somehow there was a glitch. He was not held to account. He has been nominated and confirmed to become an ambassador. Now the people have said we do not want to make electronic real-time transmission optional for INEC. We need it to be mandatory, and there should be consequences if INEC decides to go against its guidelines. The 10th Assembly, which is a rubber stamp assembly, the most unproductive, by the way, in the history of Parliament, decided to surreptitiously through the back door pass an act that is only going to become a document of fraud to aid and abet corruption and election rigging. And any well-meaning Nigerian who means well for our life must wake up and resist it, because our keeping quiet or our collective silence has emboldened Akpabio to convert the 10th Assembly into what it has become today.
What do you make of the scenario where we have senators speaking from both sides of their mouth? Some are saying 85% of senators supported transmission of results.
Yes.
And then others are saying, yes, we did not reject it. What exactly, why do you see this confusion between them?
I think every member of the 10th National Assembly from top to bottom should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves for conducting themselves in the way and manner they have carried themselves from the inauguration of that 10th Assembly. Both those in the APC and those in the opposition, because it is their collective docility that has converted the Assembly to become almost a den of unarmed robber, cavalier in their impunity, only able to aid and sustain corruption and criminality in government. When did the hearing for electoral reforms begin? How long did it take for us to pass an act where you could change an anthem, the national anthem, in one day? If President Tinubu wants to borrow loan from Money Point to clear Pampe, he can get it within 5 minutes on the rubber stamp Akpabio Senate. Yet, an electoral bill for more than 2 years, committees from both the House and the Senate have been meeting, and it has dragged up till this point. Mr. Victor, we are in February of 2026. Election should be at least maybe February or March of 2027. So it is almost too late, and it is a careful and deliberate plan to drag it up till this point. What did the opposition lawmakers do? For those of them who know exactly what should have been the content of the bill, it is a collective action that have led us to this. And guess what? The National Assembly that went on holidays in December and resumed on the 27th of January came back, and Akpabio has passed this fraudulent bill, and they have also adjourned and proceeded on another short recess to resume at the end of February. So you can see that it is all a plan to ensure that this document is dragged and stalled, and there is maximum time to rig elections. Because guess what? Once you allow manual collation, where the collation centers are the shrine of INEC election rigging, what does it empower? The ruling party. That is why you can see all the defections. APC does not have 31 states, they have 31 governors. Why is it important? Because they are the strong men at the gates that can help to subvert the votes of the people. They can rewrite and do what they did in Obiakpo, and then coerce people and INEC using law enforcement to announce rigged results and announce the president. Because as they know today, Tinubu cannot win a free and fair elections. Before 1 o'clock, he will not only lose Aso Rock, he will lose Bodilon where he lives. He will lose Ikeja, Alausa, Lagos State Government House. The votes cannot come from anywhere. So all of this is a ploy to ensure that rigging machine is legitimized. We must resist it.
You have for long warned Nigerians about loopholes in our electoral act.
Yes.
From what we've seen now, this latest decision by the Senate, is it a confirmation of those fears?
Absolutely. I have always maintained that the National Assembly as it is today has become an extension of the presidency. It is an APC town hall, almost filled with political bandits who are there to satisfy personal greed and personal ambition, not to serve the will and well-being of the people. Every law that is passed in the National Assembly must be carefully scrutinized by the people, because there must be loopholes. That is why today you are talking about a fraudulent or a forged tax law. One that is supposed to be the signature policy of the current Tinubu-led master strategist government. Yet there is forgery on it, and they are able to come out clear to tell us what exactly is in it. The same National Assembly where more than 200 trillion allegedly missing from NNPC till today have not been able to investigate to find out where did the monies go to. Money that is more than the entire debt of the country. So even the so-called Electoral Act Amendment Bill, if Nigerians do not pay attention, it is not just in passing it, it is in the details. Look at the clauses that remove some of the lawmakers as delegates. You remember they passed a bill that shortchanged some of them, and that is why they could not act as delegates in primaries. It has been returned back. They are considering clauses that are going to enable them to give powers to persons, inmates in the prisons, to begin to vote. Who is going to verify them? How are you going to know? Before tomorrow you come, they say one of the prisons in Oko Central, all the people votes there went to APC. The one in Agodi prison in Ibadan went to... So there are deliberate attempts to ensure that this document does not guarantee free and fair elections. You cannot have a rubber stamp Senate where the president goes there and he's greeted on their mantra, on their mandate, they shall collapse. So it is a captured assembly. Only the Nigerian people can put pressure to get what they want.
If you are to explain to the average Nigerian on the streets,
Yes,
this latest move by Akpabio Senate,
yes,
vis-a-vis the electronic transmission of results,
yes,
how will you explain it to the person?
I will explain to you as a Nigerian to know that one of the only ways to ensure that INEC and human beings do not rig your elections and manipulate results has been taken away from you. Electronic transmission of results real time means you are going to boycott all of that moving from polling units to ward collation center to local government to state before it gets to Abuja. That is the channel of criminality that happens during elections. Now that law is supposed to mandate that from the polling units, the results must be transmitted in real time to a central server where everybody will have access to it. And it must mandate it to be justiciable. Because in 2023, remember that INEC used the same electronic technology, but when they went to court, the judiciary said it is not known to the Electoral Act. So what exactly Section 60 subsection 5 says? The presiding officer shall transmit results in a way and manner as prescribed by INEC. Did INEC prescribe a way? Yes, paragraph 38, 39 of the INEC guidelines clearly talks about electronic transmission of result. But the court say it is not an omission to the act. So what we were telling the National Assembly is take what is on the act and put it on the, take what is on the INEC guidelines, let it reflect on the act and amend the relevant section of the Constitution so that it is at par. And today the National Assembly is telling us that there are reasons why it cannot work because of technology.
If you are to advise,
Yes.
or your voice or your views are to supersede every other view, what specific sections of the Electoral Act must be amended if Nigerians truly are to enjoy compulsory real-time e-transmission of results?
The section that talks about electronic transmission of results, section 60 from 1, 2, 3 to 5, to look at it. What exactly are we talking about this use of electronic technology? Mr. Victor, do you know that electronic technology is a baby project of INEC itself? What exactly was written in INEC position paper 21 by the outgone professor of glitches Mahmoud Yakubu was that to reduce human interference, we need electronic technology, where situation rooms will be manned by almost every person in the opposition to have real-time, monitoring of these results. If we do not do so, it then means we are leaving it in the discretion of human beings who can decide to manipulate it as we want to. Now, if we fix that electronic technology and make it mandatory, we now need to build, on that kind of system where electronic technology is being monitored by every person. Because, by the way, INEC has been awarding contracts to contractors worth hundreds of millions on the use of electronic technology. Who has been held accountable for the glitches that occurred in 2023? What happened to those persons and the monies that were given to them? And the Senate media spokesperson, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, I listened to his interview and it was a terrible disgrace. I have never felt more ashamed listening to a Nigerian leader. Any Nigerian lawmaker or politician who in 2026 believes that electronic technology will not work for elections is a thief. Anybody who is saying electronic technology will not work because of network issues is a thief and is trying to steal the mandate of the people. And I will tell you why. INEC, led by Mahmoud Yakubu, visited the then NCC Director Omar Dambata as far back as 2018. They set up a steering committee on how to use this electronic technology. They invited telcos, including like MTN, Glo, and the rest of them, say, let us get expertise and technical advice on how you have been helping JAM to conduct CBT tests. Unfortunately, somehow it was close to 2019. Buhari needed to do the elections he needed to do, and they did not implement it. Fast forward to 2023. Femi Gbajabiamila, who is the current chief of staff, when he was speaker, invited NCC officials to the National Assembly to ask them, do we have enough broadband to power electronic transmission of results? They say, well, some places we have 3G, some places we have 2G. It was INEC who issued a statement to the National Assembly saying, look, we are not telling you to pass a law on something we are not implementing already. We only need legislation to back up an act that we are already implementing as we speak. So where does it come to the conversation that there is not enough electronic technology? Mr. Victor, as we are talking now, terrorists and bandits are having TikTok live videos in the forest. Kidnappers are able to reach people, including tick forests like Sambisa. The only network that Nigeria does not have is to power an electoral process that should be the foundation of our democracy. Look at the mischief. Look at the level of mischief that leaders. So if you know that in 2026 you still believe that the electronic network will have issues to give us free and fair election, then you should leave that place you call the National Assembly. You do not need to be there. Let persons who have the capacity to move this country forward go there and fix the nation, because you should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. You are amongst leaders most miserable.
Let's be realistic. given our level of development, do you believe Nigeria currently has the infrastructure to support full real-time electronic transmission of results nationwide?
If we do not have it, then it is a terrible shame on all of us that the giant of Africa in the 21st century is talking about lack of technology.
Self-acclaimed giant.
Self-acclaimed giant of Africa. What is Ghana doing? Democratic Republic of Congo uses electronic technology. What is South Africa using? What did Senegal use? Nigeria is the only country that leads in terms of terrorism, banditry, corruption, stealing of money. But when it comes to technology that will advance progress and human life, we are backwards. India has a population of over 1 billion people. Their registered voters are more than 300 million, almost more than the entire population of Nigeria. They do not only do electronic transmission, they do electronic voting in India. So we are not even inventing the technology. We are to adopt existing technology. How do banks move money every day and it is not affected without hacking? How do the account numbers and everything of politicians have never been hacked? What does not work in Nigeria is what politicians do not want to work. There is maximum technology. We can, even the so-called beavers machine have become equipments of criminality. We can use immovable electronic devices. We can collapse all our elections to one day. Everything, models have been put forward and presented to the National Assembly. They know it is high-level mischief because, see, Mr. Victor, sir, if Nigerians have free and fair elections, we are draining the swamp. More than 80 to 90% of the persons who are there will go on compulsory extinction and retirement from politics. So they know that that is the only leverage Nigerians have. That is why they will pretend we are fixing coastal highway. You are spending 15 trillion. We don't need a quarter of that to be able to fix technology for elections. Can Tinubu leave coastal highway and give Nigerians free and fair election? Who is afraid of free and fair election? They say he's making bold steps. He's making bold moves. He's the master strategist. Person, they make bold moves and you fear free and fair election. You have been de facto governor of Lagos State for more than 20 years. You handpick every governor that goes there. You can remove them. Yet, more than 26 years later, you still need thuggery, violence, and rigging to win your own home state. You have a problem. You have a problem you are not dealing with. And it is not Nigerians you will hold to ransom.
The national opposition movement is calling for a national protest this Monday to the National Assembly. Do you have an idea of the scope of this mobilization and perchance are you part of it?
Mr. Victor, I am an active citizen. And this action look, our collective silence and docility is what has enabled Akpabio to convert the National Assembly to what it has become. A den of...
Is it about Akpabio alone?
It is about Akpabio as the leader. He is going to be held accountable because today their 10th assembly is the most unproductive and probably the most corrupt in the history of parliament.
What of the House of Reps?
Of course, he's the president of the National Assembly. So by extension, both the deputy senate president, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and every person that is in the 10th National Assembly. Whether you support it or not, we want to know the actions you are taking to resist this criminality and corruption. You cannot be so cavalier in your own impunity. So whatever the national opposition movement is doing, we are also calling on Nigerians, because if we fail to resist this kind of brazen assault on democracy, we can foreclose Nigeria as an institution or as a nation that has its own integrity, where the people value our own lives. Imagine the criminality that took place in 2023 being consolidated on in 2027. Imagine this level of brazen corruption going on, where we are looking for more than 128 billion from the Ministry of Power. More than 210 trillion from the NNPC, yet the president, Tinubu, who is supposed to be helping to fight corruption, wrote off the debt of the same NNPC that is under active investigation in the National Assembly. And guess what? The chairman of that committee, who is supposed to be an opposition lawmaker, Senator Ali Wadada Ahmed from Nasarawa West, has allegedly defected to the APC, but his defection has not been read on the floor of the Senate because they do not want to hand over the chairmanship of that committee because he has interest in running for Nasarawa State governor. Look at what is going on, and Nigerians are condoning it. More than 200 or more than 150 persons were killed in Kwara State how many days ago? It is not breaking news. It is not headline news. The president will not even acknowledge it because it does not involve Anthony Joshua, who is a British citizen. What a shame of a country. Nigeria today exists so that other countries can learn how not to govern their countries. Akpabio has one job. It is to ensure that they crown Tinubu, whether by hook or by crook, to impose an incompetent and incapacitated leader on Nigerians even without an election. Tinubu knows that he does not have any pathway to victory. He may not even campaign across the 36 states. He may not even campaign. So what they need is to legitimize a rigging machine. If we do not resist it, we are done for. Because I have no other country. As a young person, I must live and thrive in Nigeria, and it must work in my lifetime.
What will be the role of the movement besides just organizing electoral reform protests? And perchance, do you have an inkling as to those behind this national opposition movement?
I mean, national opposition movement should be the people's opposition. I want Nigeria's conversation to move away from political figures as opposition to we, the more than 200 million victims of dysfunctional leadership. The persons who are opposition lawmakers or opposition politicians who are running for office today, sir, what do they have to lose if they do not become president? Let us take a sample of them. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, a former vice president, a former governor, Amici, a former governor. So they need to do what they need to do. Because unfortunately, Nigeria has not even seen the kind of opposition that the APC mounted in 2014. If it were under a Jonathan government, imagine what Lai Mohammed would be doing now. Imagine where Tinubu and all of them, Odige, Oyegun and all of them, where they will be at this point. They will hold Jonathan by the jugular. So we have completely allowed them, and it is almost Nigeria is like a country that has been taken hostage. And instead of the hostages to wake up and fight for our lives, we are cooperating with our kidnappers and hostage takers. God forbid that I'll be part of that kind of system. So as it is today, the entire opposition movement beyond electoral reform must mobilize for 2027. Because at the heart of this matter is to ensure that there is voter apathy. Everything you are seeing is a deliberate attempt to ensure that Nigerians do not come out to vote. They do not believe in the system. Because remember 2023, benefit of hindsight. More than 93 million registered to vote. 87 million collected PVCs. Less than 30 million came out for election. Tinubu is seated in Aso Rock with less than 9 million votes. In a country of more than 200 million people, a person has a mandate of less than 9 million. If you write an exam and get less than 50%, are you supposed to be promoted? Is that how it works? Nigeria's democracy is a charade. So beyond that, we must fight against this apathy that they want to deliberately build, so that people will say, they don't rig them, it cannot be free and fair, let us sit. No, we must use this as an anger to mobilize ourselves. If we come out to vote in millions, they cannot rig. Tinubu and his APC minions will be sent home where they belong and let Nigeria move forward.
As we say in local parlance, see finish.
Yes.
If the Senate decides to be stubborn and kill the aspirations of Nigerians for a transparent electoral process and democracy, what will the opposition movement and Nigerians do?
And I will respond by telling you that if they stole your mandate in 2023 or they stole your mandate for the first time, shame on them. If you let them steal it a second time, shame on you. How many are the persons who are in the National Assembly who will decide to see us finish? The Senate has 109. The National Assembly, the reps has 360. Let us calculate the 31 APC governors who are standing on the mandate which they shall collapse. Calculate the ministers and all of them. How many persons are holding Nigeria hostage? So Nigerians must come to a position where we ask ourselves, the power of the people and the criminals in power, who is greater? What exactly should be the position of the people? For how long are we ready to condone this level of suffering and inhumanity? Where people will die and it has become normal statistics. Every problem you are talking about in Nigeria today has been there before. If you do nothing about changing leadership, the people who caused those troubles are preparing to come back. So we must hold them at that point. Elections have consequences, and that is what we are dealing with. One president flippantly said, subsidy regime is gone. Till today, he has not accounted for 1 kobo he took out from subsidy. Yet he wants to tax people. This is a tax master administration where you only continue to take from people. We make sacrifices. We are the subsidy for the lives of the rich. And that is why you can have people like Oshomole, who started as NLC president, who, according to himself, was the son of a farmer. Today, farmer picking, poor man picking, they private jet, they massage. I'm sure maybe he even works in a spa.
I know you as a very good student of history, and if we look strictly at the economic indicators and security data since 2023, and the wanton killing of Nigerians across the country, does the current administration deserve a renewal of their mandate in 2027?
Who gave them a mandate in before? Before you renew mandate, who gave you the mandate? You cannot enter the house. I mean, it is a Yakubu Mahmoud mandate with the conspiration of Buhari and however they arrived at that. Until Mahmoud Yakubu tells us what caused the glitch in 2023, Nigerians will continue to question the 2023 election. And that is what they are trying to build on, because we allowed a certain level of criminality to be consolidated on. If you look at every statistics in the country, Nigeria is almost an entirely failed state. You cannot have an egalitarian society, a country that has a commander-in-chief, where people will enter a community, go door to door, killing its citizens, and the commander-in-chief can do nothing. Today in Nigeria, they kidnap people. When the girls in government secondary school in Kebbi State governor is an APC governor. He sent a message until today, nobody has answered. Before that attack, We had intelligence that they will attack that community and the school. We deployed military and law enforcement to the place. Few minutes before the attack, somebody gave an order for them to leave. After they left, few minutes later, people came and kidnapped people's children. Who gave that order? Has Tinubu told Nigerians who ordered troops to leave that government secondary school in Kebbi State? And he's a master strategist. Master strategist from mouth without any master strategy on security. Renewed hopelessness, renewed hunger. There are places in Niger State today where terrorists and bandits collect tax from Nigerians. Criminals are running sub-governmental levels under a government, and we call it a society that has territorial integrity. Bandits and terrorists are holding stakeholder meeting in the open in Katsina. One of the police ACP who was killed, Aminu Dayi, according to reports, the head of the bandits in part of the place in Katsina gave an order that part of the, implementations for why they will come for that peace deal is that the law enforcement officers must come in mufti. Mr. Victor, guess what? The bandits themselves, the terrorists, came in the uniforms of the slain police officer to meet with government officials. In Nigeria, terrorists kill law enforcement, attend peace deal with government in the uniforms of the slain officers, and the law enforcement of that country is told not to come in their own uniforms. And that is what we call a government of a master strategist. What a shame. What a hopeless situation that we find ourselves. But we cannot be despondent, because that is what they want. They want this country to be completely captured. Nigeria has almost been taken hostage. If we allow, the people who are surrounding Tinubu do not believe, nobody supports Tinubu because they know he is competent, by the way. Let us put that straight. Everybody who is around him is there because of what they can get through him. Look at the visit in Turkey. Look at the outing of the president in Turkey. The personal physical stamina that is needed to lead a country like Nigeria is quite an experience. The president should be grateful that God gave him opportunity to live to a good old age. Old age is not a curse. It's a blessing. But how do you hold an entire country ransom because of your personal selfish ambition and greed? So you people are standing on the mandate that is falling. We cannot allow that. So whatever that it is, Nigeria is projected that more than 140 million persons will go into extreme and multidimensional poverty, increasing from the initial number this year. It is not any major breaking news. There is no desperation to fixing that. What we need is tax. That is where we are. Shame.
What do you make of a commander-in-chief where 160-something people are kidnapped in Kaduna? Security agents deny it.
Yes.
Show me the evidence if you have evidence. And when evidence is finally presented, they begin to rationalize. And then the next few days, you have 160-something people killed in Kwara. The commander-in-chief does not make a stopover in any of these areas. Neither does any high-ranking government official visit such area. And in Kaduna State, the people walk back home. How did they walk back home? Nobody knows.
We recovered
such a commander-in-chief, should he be given an opportunity to continue to lead the people in that light?
Does Tinubu call himself commander-in-chief? What is he commanding? A commander-in-chief that is sharing territory with terrorists and bandits. Is that a commander-in-chief? That is what we have reduced commander-in-chief to. So in Nigeria today, US helps to fight security. France helps you to collect tax. Tinubu is in charge of defections to APC. That is what the president is doing. That is Tinubu's role. So maybe he's commander-in-chief of defections or movement from other parties, fighting opposition parties and moving everybody to convert Nigeria to a one-party state. Not only did the police deny the incident in Kaduna, the local government chairman is on record to have been telling his citizens not to escalate the matter because the governor, Sani Uba, is carrying out certain unfortunate projects around the community, so they do not want, they should cover it up. People were taken. And why is it that Nigeria is the only place where people will be kidnapped in numbers? First of all, sir, how do 200 people get kidnapped in a country? That is, there is no presence of, there are ungoverned spaces in Nigeria. There is no law. That is, people will come with motorcycle. Do you know that kidnappers, part of ransom list now, kidnapper will even add tire, motorcycle tire. They will add provision, milk, Milo. I said kidnappers are the ones that they gbadun. They go take Milo, they go take Lipton, they take sugar. Kidnappers in the forest, and people will go there. They have network to reach us, so we don't have network to transmit results. And then people will be killed, and then you say that you recover them without any arrest. There is no gunfire. Somehow they just go somewhere. They say, Bayo Ononuga will say, due to intelligence, we told them they must return them. We go there and go and take them. You are deceiving yourselves. We are rewarding criminality, and that is why it will not end. What are the allegations on the Minister for State for Defense? Why has the government not named persons who are linked to terrorism and brought them to book? What is keeping them? Who is shielding who? That is why security has become a major economic enterprise. The more money you put into it, the more it escalates. We are not being sincere. If we don't fix and end this kind of rudderless leadership, everybody is a potential victim, because today's victims were yesterday's survivors. Tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. God forbid that Nigeria happens to me before I activate. Every Nigerian must come out to resist this kind of criminality in government.
Do you think the opposition political parties are doing enough to dislodge these people? And if you think otherwise, for emphasis, can you pinpoint specific areas of their failures and docility?
What exactly, or who is the opposition in Nigeria for us to begin with? Do we have an opposition of disgruntled past criminals too, who are coming together to fight against the government because you want to change thief? Is it what we want to do? Remember that there was a coalition, there was a merger that brought us to where we are today. So when you talk about opposition figures, we want to talk about people who want to come out with a different path for Nigerians. What are you presenting to Nigerians? What exactly is the vision? What do we want to do differently? Do we want to just change it because we are not benefiting from this criminality? And then, as much as you can, I think every opposition leader, if you genuinely, for those of them who genuinely mean well for a better Nigeria, you cannot take the low road to the high office. If you mean well for Nigeria and you know that the destiny of Nigerians, the lives of millions of people hanging in the balance on your personal decision, you should be out on the streets. Buhari protested. Tinubu, they protested. They did occupy Nigeria. People formed Save Nigeria group when bag of rice was less than 15,000. Bag of rice has reached 80,000. Nobody saved Nigeria again. Abi, you know, fear God. So that is what opposition will ask themselves. Am I here because I want to get ticket? So everybody is waiting for opportunity to get the ADC ticket before you come out and stand for what you believe in a country that has given you so much. A lot of persons some of the persons who are in the current opposition were part of the APC government. They brought the government. So suddenly they have also realized that they need to take out the problem that they created. That is why I have always moved the issue of opposition to the people. As much as I call on opposition figures, leaders to rise up, to take up responsibility and lead the charge for emancipation of Nigerians, we must take our destinies in our own hands. I have a lot to lose if Nigeria doesn't work. A lot of them have already benefited from this country. They have little or nothing to lose. Successful businessmen, former politicians, former governor, former vice president, their children are okay. It is me, my mother who is a widow, my siblings, who we know how we have been raised single-handedly. The people around me, children who are in Kwara, children who are in Zamfara, Plateau State, it is those of us that must wake up and form the people's opposition. If we say enough, it will be enough.
Let's look at a little bit of mathematics now. What is the mathematical path to victory for any opposition candidate come 2027?
The mathematical path to victory can even be seen in the mathematical path in 2023. I mean, let us even take INEC's number by what it was. According to them, a Peter Obi came out from a party, took a party that was obscure, that nobody knew, came from PDP, took Labour Party that almost nobody knew, and within a space of how many months, according to them, got more than 6-point-something million votes. He beat Tinubu home and away. Tinubu left Etiosa in Ikoyi, where he lived, to go and vote in Alausa in Ikeja. Obi won Etiosa and Ikeja. So, which one? And according to even reports from even opposition figures, including PDP, the results that were declared for Obi in Lagos State are less than the actual results. What happened in Rivers in Obiakpo? Let Wike come out and tell the people exactly what happened in that election. Obi won Abuja. So where will the votes come from? So if you add the votes of even Atiku, Obi, and Kwankwaso together, the people who voted against Tinubu are more. He's an unpopular leader. It is, if we even go by INEC's own figures of glitches of Mahmoud Yakubu, who is now an ambassador, hopefully another ambassador of glitches. So that is what it is. The clear part, sir, between you and I and Nigerians, Tinubu knows, Akpabio knows, everybody in the APC ruling party knows that the only way you can win election with APC in 2027 is election rigging. If Tinubu has done well for the people and Nigerians love you organically, you don't need 31 governors. You don't need politicians to carry this billionaire guys. People will vote for you because you are popular. How many governors did Obi have when he got the result he got? That is why they are afraid, they are jittery. All of these are actions deliberately aimed at subverting the votes and will of the people. We must resist it.
Let's be realistic. Many have accused the APC government of taking over the legislature, judiciary, and police, and
Yes.
even the media.
Yes.
As we head into election come 2027, what are your fears if Tinubu returns in 2027?
Tinubu will only return if the majority of Nigerians who are victims of his failed and incompetent leadership permit that they rig themselves back into office. Tinubu will not return if the majority of Nigerians who have been victims of this failed leadership wake up and say we will vote and our vote will be protected and it must count. They have no pathway to returning. Of course, almost all aspects of the state have been captured. The National Assembly has become an APC town hall. When the president goes there, he's greeted on their mandate, they shall collapse. In fact, when Akpabio was recently inaugurated, he used to wear a cap that brandishes the insignia of the president's political mantra. When the president visited the judicial panel where they had their meeting of the judges, what was sung there? On your mandate, you shall collapse. So, I mean, is it the police? Is it the EFCC? What part of government? Every institution that should stand, of which democracy is a government where leadership or nation building is built on the strength of your institutions and not strong men. So we have decided to make, Nigerians must realize that there is something we say. They say that the way you sit down, night cameraman go snap you. If we do nothing, then we are going to empower them. We are afraid of what is afraid of us. If all of Nigerians say you are tired of this level of brazen criminality, it will end.
As in 2023 election, the FC minister has been serially accused of masterminding the rigging machinery of the current president. How do you think the opposition can stop him this time around? And what do you make of building houses for judges
yes,
and even deciding to even add the National Industrial Court?
Yes.
And he's saying he's not compromising them.
Yes.
What do you make of all of this?
I mean, that is why I think Tinubu has a minister for the judiciary in the person of Wike. So he's apart from handling the FCT, it is also to care and take care of the courts. And that is why when you finish an election, they will tell you if you are not okay, go to court. Because the court have been properly taken care of. It is like a general hospital. You only go there to bandage wound. Nothing is working there. So when you see a person, that is why you can see the president of a country, there are issues going on between the former governor and the incumbent governor of Rivers State. What did the president do? Prevail instead of prevailing. What party is Wike? Is he in the APC or in the PDP? But he's seated on the cabinet of the APC and having issues in the PDP. And then when there is issue between himself and the sitting governor, instead of the president to prevail on his subject, you suspend the governor. And today, according to reports, the president is telling the federal minister for FCT to halt the impeachment process of a sitting governor. Mr. Victor, in Nigeria, in a democracy, the commander-in-chief is asking a former governor to hold on with impeachment. That is, if 7 ministers in Nigeria has the capacity to impeach a duly elected governor. What circles are we living in? What is plain before our eyes? That is why this issue of election is so important. Because if there were free and fair elections, Wike cannot come out to boast that he single-handedly made the person governor. That he bought forms for every aspirant in PDP in Rivers State, from governor to senator to House of Reps to everybody, with whose resources. So the issue of Rivers State is like two thieves struggling to steal and share what does not belong to them. And the real victims are sitting aside. Because the main victims of what is going on in Rivers, it's not Ibogete, the sole administrator. It's not Wike. It's not Fubara. They are benefiting from the Commonwealth and still trying to share it. The Rivers State people, whose resources and wealth have been slaughtered, spent on vain projects, political banditry. We must fix that system. Let people be able to vote and hold them accountable. If not for federal backing and all that is going on, will Wike do what he's doing in Rivers State?
As we begin to wrap up on a lighter note, it's been said that those who criticize the president are rewarded.
Yes.
And they become either ambassador or they become one thing or the other. The acoustic criticism of the president, is it also in line in that direction?
May God forbid.
Somebody said that too. Somebody said that.
Yes.
On principle I stand. But today he's an ambassador.
I mean, somebody went to Chicago State University to investigate and confirm that the president is a known drug lord. A person went there, one of the only Nigerians who has been able to achieve that feat, to go and investigate and confirm that the president is a known drug lord. And guess what? The president has appointed that person to be an ambassador. So once Reno Omokri goes to a country where he's sent to, the first thing he should do is to go and meet the head of state and tell them that the person who sent me to you is a person I investigated and confirmed is a drug lord, but I have taken an appointment from him.
But he has said he has apologized behind closed doors.
Is it
that he made a mistake?
No, is it an apology, or it is that investigation findings were wrong? It was mischievous. And if it was mischievous and wrong, have the president come out to state clearly what the facts are and why did you now appoint him? Was it a reward or a shut-up project? What exactly was it? So Nigerians have good reason to be weary of almost everybody who is talking about Nigeria to be good today was at some point a freedom fighter. Imagine Adams Oshomole, the NLC president of Oshomole. Today, Oshomole is the person who will tell you when you come to our party, your sins are forgiven. Oshomole is in the committee on electoral reform. Oshomole is in the committee on appropriation that is supposed to investigate NMPC. What is going on? So for Nigerians, for me, I will continue to do what I need to do. On the mandate of a better Nigeria, I stand. And Nigeria will work in my lifetime. To yourself be true. The opinions of others are their businesses. I will continue to try to stand to what I believe is true. And I know that the truth is enough.
In one word, how will you describe Reno Omokri?
In one word, I think a political fraud.
Let's move on. A leaked video just showed the senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the largest country in Africa.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yes.
the leg of a random unknown lady. And initially, people tried to make excuse for him and say it was AI.
Yeah.
We thought he would stick with that. Yeah. But he now came out with a detailed explanation that his passionate love for Nigeria made him to contract this lady to launder the image of Nigeria. And there are no influencers. This girl is so good.
She's so good.
That there are no influencers in Nigeria that can match her influencing roles, that he had to invite a South African lady. And in the course of flying with her, she complained of cramp. And he was the closest person to massage. So why are Nigerians criticizing him?
I don't know. Nigerians are very terrible people. Do you know whether Oshomole runs a spa? Do you know whether he has been a masseuse before he went into Nigeria Labour Congress? You people are just judging the man. And when he said this girl is very good, do you know how good she is to Oshomole?
Which area he is good?
And what area he is good? She may have shown Oshomole a lot of expertise. You can never tell. You know, he said he brought for a senator to carry private jet, a whole Oshomole where they wear khaki, go they sweat, who he's fighting this, they put leg on top of his leg and he was very carefully massaging it. If he has put that kind of pressure and, you know, intelligence or detail into budget, we would have had a better budget too. If the way Oshomole was massaging that leg, that is how he scrutinized the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, we will have real-time electronic transmission of result. But he takes that massage job more serious than the job he's doing in the National Assembly. That is why you must drain the swamp and send out non-essentials from that place. Nigeria has packed the Senate with a bunch of invalids, people that have no business in public office. Instead of allowing the best to lead the rest, we allow the worst to rule over and mislead the lives of the rest. It is a shame.
On a serious note, should that kind of attitude be condoned? And in civilized climes, what should happen?
In civilized climes, he will be the person to even tender his own resignation. What exactly is the salary of the senator? How did he get into the private jet? Is that person your spouse? In civilized societies, we claim to copy America. Why exactly was Bill Clinton impeached with the Monica Lewinsky issue at the time? Was it because it was not even,
The Senate of America saved him.
The Senate of the Americas, yes.
The House impeached him.
Impeached him, the Senate saved him. In Nigeria, you can do anything. As a politician. Nigerian politicians are the luckiest set of people because they get away with anything. You can be a former criminal, you can steal money as governor and pay school fee in advance, and you will come out to say you are running for Senate, even when you have an active EFCC case. Nothing stops you. The more criminal-minded you are, the more immoral you are as a Nigerian politician, the more likely you will climb the ladder of success in Nigerian government. That is why the way we are going, non-terrorists and bandits, if we do not do anything about these elections, will contest for elections. They will come out and run for public office because they are emboldened. When you see criminals, you know, everybody, mafia is running. It is a criminal Armageddon. So when you see a person like Oshomole, and for him to be brazen enough to come out to even make that kind of statement, they tell you how they look at Nigerians, that everybody is just a stupid person, everybody can move on. After all, what is it? Are you the one who paid for it? It doesn't matter. It is his personal life. So the conduct of persons in public office is not important.
Let's wrap up this way. The US President Donald Trump recently recognized Nigeria's First Lady, Remi Tinubu, at a White House prayer session. Does it mean anything to Nigeria's diplomacy? And the news has been everywhere as if Nigeria has just won the World Cup.
It is a shame. So what the First Lady is attending is a breakfast prayer meeting. So they claimed because she's a pastor, and then insecurity is going on and everywhere in the country, and you are not able to prevail on your husband or whatever it is. So now, in fact, I even saw a video of Senator Shomole going to visit President Tinubu to acknowledge the fact that the President of the United States acknowledged the First Lady of Nigeria who visited to attend the prayer breakfast. When governments are going to the White House to sign multinational deals, to enter into business contracts and economic deals that are advancing their countries. Recently, US has entered a trade deal with India, with the European Union. Has Tinubu gone into the White House to go and sign any deal? We are the biggest market in Africa. What is preventing Tinubu from going to the White House? Why the wife? Why is the First Lady? Is she an elected official? Did Nigerians vote for Madam Remi Tinubu? What is she going there to do? She has gone to Belarus at some point. When will Tinubu go to meet Trump and sign a trade deal? When will Tinubu go to meet Trump and say that, oh, we have ended insecurity, it is now open, everybody can feel safe, American expatriates can come, people can live and walk around the entire country. But while your wife is there, while people are doing that charade or whatever you are doing, more than 100 people are killed in Kwara, and we should be talking about First Lady going to sit down in a breakfast meeting. What did she come back with from the breakfast meeting? Maybe breakfast.
Don't you think maybe recognition of the First Lady is by parity of reason recognition of the President?
By parity of reason recognition of the President. First Lady. Mr. Victor, let us take Nigerians seriously and our country. Nigerian President, remember when people like Obasanjo, remember that US presidents used to visit this country? Bill Clinton and the rest. Remember the kind of respect that Nigeria was given on the global stage. When a Nigerian president speaks, he speaks with authority. There is almost no current mineral resource you are looking for in the world that you won't find in Nigeria. If you take away all our mineral resources, the human beings, the talents and potentials in this country is what makes us unique. The Nigerian president today is relegated to the back. If you see Tinubu across world leaders, he's almost hiding at one point, and then we are sending the wife of the president to go and attend the breakfast meeting. When will Tinubu go into the White House with his team of ministers? They sit down. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is here. Defense Pete Hegseth is here. They sit down with Trump and they say, look, Nigeria, we are putting this kind of money. This is the value Nigeria is bringing to America. Imagine that kind of collaboration. Instead of looking like subordinates, you are inferior. That is what it means. We are inferior. We have admitted that we cannot stand. So whatever that will come as a win, First Lady don't go. They have celebrated her. President, that is what we are celebrating. More than 300 million intelligent people. God forbid this kind of country. Shame.
So guys, Nigerians keep asking, what is the APC afraid of? Why are they afraid of, losing election? Many of them have been in power for like only God knows how long. They've been there, they don't provide any benefit to the people. And now the people are saying enough of all what we've had at the hands of the APC since they came into power. They removed PDP and they seized power by force. Now, see what Nigerians are going through. Everywhere has been hijacked. And people are saying, just allow us to do a free and fair election. They are saying no, they cannot. So guys, this is what we are saying about the APC. These people don't mean well for Nigerians. They don't mean well for anybody. It's just all about them and their families. You have seen many of them, they've started putting their family members in politics just for them to be able to take over, not because they have anything to offer. People like Wike, they've destroyed the nation. The only solution they have is to bring in their children. You have seen Omar Yena, his son is starting from local government. Before you know it, he's going to be governor. He's just positioning him for a governorship position, not because Omar wants the best for the people. What has Omar done for his people that is bringing in his son? So guys, now let me take you through some of the headlines. Peter Obi was spotted in Abuja patronizing a woman while campaigning for Dr. Mo. Peter Obi bought granules from the woman, and let's just see how Nigerians are reacting to that. This one is the infant carry and go give politician where they expect bribe. You hear that part. Where he said they will say you are giving bribe when Dr. Mo wanted to hand over the money. Okay, intelligence and carrier. Okay, I'm sorry, but isn't this 1999 style of campaign? Mr. Peter Obi is very smart. He knew they will say he's giving bribe. He's so smart. discount. I just feel sorry for any thief when he finally attains the position of the president. 1 naira, they wouldn't steal 1 kobo. That would be, they would steal 1 kobo. They will say you are giving bribes. Smart man, always paying attention. Peter will be for life. You will always be my number one. May God bless you and keep you alive. So Peter Obi was buying granite from a seller, and I think he was very cautious so that he doesn't give them money and then they will say he's giving bribe. This one still use 1882 style of campaign. This time around, now 5,000 he go carry. Now 5th place he go carry. Okay, and he's asking for discount. A marketer is always a marketer. To be asking for discount. And this is, I saw a video of a pub owner chasing a minister out of public in the UK. Someone needs to start letting all these pathetic politicians that do this nonsense when election is around and come, that we don't need that from. We don't need that from them. Let this stupid looking for, I don't know what is this person saying. The optics serve, he knows sabi do, everything is fake. Election done near, then don't start. Niger politicians. Even Kwankwasiya don't they follow Obi 2027 now. Wow. So we don't even know what is going to become of Kwankwaso's position. I've not seen any headline that talks about Kwankwaso since the US named him in a terrorist list, you know, among those who are going to be sanctioned. So we are yet to get more updates on that. But I think Peter Obi is well appreciated. Okay. INEC is even saying that, okay, I'm seeing Mahmoud Yakubu saying that Beavers mentioned don't need internet to upload. Can you imagine? Former INEC chairman Mahmoud. There is nothing we will not see. He said, this man, it caused a whole lot of confusion in this Nigeria. I'm just wondering how did Tinubu even give him another position? I mean, I don't know what is really happening. How did Tinubu give him another position? Anyway, he rigged him into power, and that is what you are seeing now. Court is where Tinubu they use think he represents Igbo. This NBM self who be owner LM keep following head way only sabi use on her head. This guy is trying to expose Cubana chief priest that he's a cultist. What is it that is not possible in this country? Hey, wait, let me even read the comments to see if I will get, you know now. Yoruba Nivorous animal, you still there? This guy, this Harry, hey, to locate you no go hard. Watch your fucking mouth, blood. Be like say, surprise away to be and chief priest in the southeast. Nobody betrayed the Igbo and lived the rest of his life in peace. A beautiful and resilient people who survived the Nigerian Civil War. The land has caused them already. We aren't gluten. Everything evil is now openly celebrated in Nigeria. Obi Cubana and Cubana chief represent their stomach and not the Igbo. And Jesus Christ. This one is on a quick they forget the person that claims say na him teach hush puppy for Malay where the guy the trend and na him use his hand share this photo. He always liked to align himself. He saw that everyone was shouting Obi in 2023. He joined while at the same time supporting hope. Well, this is a buzz for Obi Cubana chief priest. They want to use him to blackmail Ndebo, Belena water. Hey, we. So Obi Cubana chief priest. I did with Cubana chief priest. who you deal with. See as this idiot mouth wide like basic. So in case you don't know what has been happening, Cubana chief priest came out boldly to say that he's not going to vote for Peter Obi. And he has been getting a lot of backlash. Some people are saying that Obi does not even need his support, considering the fact that he is, this person calls him a cultist and the rest of it. So they've been having this back and forth and back. So I don't know, Obi Cubana. We are Igbos always have that problem. Let's be sincere. We don't support our own. It was this same, will I call it, these same people that came out to say that, what is it called? The governor of Anambra State, that say Peter Obi cannot become leader, you know? Billionaire business Zenko, alongside others, donate buses worth millions to City Boy movement in support of Tinubu Tinubu re-election. Let them donate. We don't care. They had it before now. So even if they donate, we don't care. It's all about them, about their money. Shameless human beings. Let's see how it's going to work. City Boy, South. Oh, God forbid these people. God forbid them. Tinubu has already won the re-election and is going to be president. He has no opposition in 2026. Movement is unstoppable. Billionaire business Zenko, along others, donates buses worth. Let them donate. Shebi, they will be there to do the voting. Let's see how it will go. The love is real. So guys, Peter Obi is for the people. Peter Obi, this is like a battle between the people and you know, and Peter Obi. So we are going to see how all this is going to happen. Now another headline is bandit abducts a catechist, his pregnant wife and 30 others in Kagago local government. The community is under tension. Over 90% of people who have gone to a nearby village, those of us who slept in the village yesterday, are not up to 40. Reverend Father priest is saying this. So guys, Kaduna State, this is terrible. What's happening is really so terrible. So terrorists have abducted another Catholic catechist. I don't know what we are going to do in this Nigeria. Always bad news. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you.